Happy Sunday, everybody. Helical Coil, you go have pizza, man. Rich, Audrey, Anna, Andy, Jeff, all the jam suspects. Wine Rubber Garden, hey, Carl. Pizza's already eaten. Okay. You're baking bread in your pizza oven. 6 kilograms of dough. Wow. just going to make a little noise for a bit. Hey, Davi. Let that run in the background. There we go. Happy Sunday again, everyone. Let's see. What's going on here? The old chatteroo. Said hellos to a few people already. Let's see. Once again, we're gardening a lot this week. I keep thinking the gardening's over, and yet someone keeps buying plants. And it's not me. I just got to dig the holes. So, New Ignis, hey. Let's see. Leendert from the Netherlands, welcome. Welcome back. I think you were here before. So if I misremember, that's what you can correct me, but nice. So next year in May 2025, Sarah and I are going to go to Berlin for Superbooth. So I'd love to meet those of you who are in the area, whether you make it to Superbooth or not. But we're going to do some trips around as well. I'm not looking for a place to stay. We're going to stay in hotels. I'm not mooching, but we definitely want to get over there. We haven't been to Europe for almost 10 years, and so I'd like to get back and meet some people who I only know through the onlines and through chat. So what's going on today? All right. You can slow down. Just leave this pad running. What's going on? Nothing dramatically new. I have acquired a new synth since the last time we spoke. Picked up an Ensoniq SD1. Just in time, my ESQ1 is exhibiting strange behavior. Behavior that allegedly has something to do with the power supply starting to go. And as voltage drops, the logic board starts doing strange things, and it's definitely doing strange things. Believe it or not, my digital ESQ1 is exhibiting tuning problems. So it was like 40 cents flat today. I don't know why, and I couldn't fix it. And it's a digital synth, which is like, the irony is incredible. Oh well. We'll figure it out. But in its not replacement, but as maybe it's having a temper tantrum. It's upset that I brought its younger brother, the SD1, in the house. So let's see. Let's pause this pad. So let's talk about some sounds today. All right. So what are we playing with today? Today we're playing with the Waldorf Iridium. It's on pad duty here. Maybe a tuning pot being funky. Jeff, there are no tuning pots on an ESQ1. So, yeah, I don't know. I think rumor has it's the logic board being low voltage. Like strange things are afoot at the Circle K. Anyway. So the Iridium's there, and we're using the Blofeld. A similar pad, but different. So there's a good comparison. So Iridium, which is a rather very powerful and rather expensive synthesizer. And in the scope of pads, that's very nice. But the 1/6 the cost Waldorf Blofeld, both Waldorf synths. Equally suitable for pads. I've been trying to get a friend of mine, Task Boy, to get a Blofeld because he likes desktop synths, small format ones. And he likes multi-timbral synths, and the Blofeld is so that, right? So, playing with the Iridium and the Blofeld today for pads. And then this Ensoniq SD1, get ready for the 90s. right? That's right off the Legend soundtrack. I'm super happy. So I bought it from, there was someone in my area selling an SD1, but it was pretty beat up and they wouldn't let me come try it, like test it. They were like, you have to sort of like take my word for it and I'll shoot videos of it and send you the videos. Just ask whatever questions. But it was just a little too, I'm not saying the person was dishonest. I'm just saying they were overly cautious and I really wanted to lay my hands on it. But I couldn't find another one in the area. And then the synth repair restoration guys, Syntor out of Texas, had a fully restored one for sale, and they're reputable. It's not like it's an unknown person. And so I bought a used SD1 from them, fully restored. It's great. It feels good, plays well. And the floppy drive has been replaced with one of those Gotek USB stick floppy drive emulators. So, I'm happy with it. And this sound is great. I have not yet read the manual. I need to get in there. The ESQ1, you could sit down and just start programming. It's super easy to program, and everything you need to know is right on the front panel. The SD1, everything's on the front panel, sort of. There are some menu pages you have to go through, but the synth architecture is weird. Not weird. It's different than anything else I have, and it defied my manual no RTFM just screwing around. I was like, I'm changing this parameter and nothing's happening. I'm obviously an idiot or not need to read the manual. But we've been gardening so much I haven't had time to really dig into it. So this is just a preset right off of it. We're going to call it the John Anderson lots of pollen floating through the air preset. So super happy about it. Let's see. Oh, the Centaur video about the Moog modular. I like the Centaur people. That guy, Sam, I don't know his last name. I've forgotten his last name. He seems pretty sincere. And his helper doobies, his bunnies in the, working in the background seem to be okay. They're not like minions. They seem like they're having fun. So it's like, all right. It's always a mystery whether an employer or a sole proprietorship is cracking the whip at their minions or equal parts, and they seem pretty happy. So no 432, Andy, bad. If anyone here likes A432, just keep it to yourself. Anyway, so SD1. And then I've got a Cobalt. I finally swapped out. So if you've been here before, the patches I play tend to shift slowly over time, but you'll hear the same patch on the same synth for a few weeks, and then I'll change it. So the Cobalt 8 is doing this pluck here. Bring it back up. No longer is it doing this sort of mini Moog lead. I wanted a shimmery Berlin School pluck. We're kind of mid-range heavy today. Lots of shimmer on things, and not the shimmer reverb, just phasing and chorus effects with a lot of shimmery on it. So that's the Cobalt 8. And let's see. A420, nice. Oh, Jeff. This is similar. I wanted a similar sound, slightly different. This is the third wave. I'll bring that up too. We've got the sort of clamping down to mid-range on the delay reverberations for that old-timey radio kind of. They're sort of pulling out. All right. So, hey, Quasar. Jet lagged. Oh, that's right. You just came back from Japan, was it? Nice. I got into organ a little bit last week, and now I've got an organ lead going on. With a little sort of phasing on the echoes, and a lot of big reverb. And this is coming off the Hydrasynth, actually. There we go. Last week we talked about muscle memory and like riffs. That's a riff. That's a riff. Things runs in fourths. So we talked about landing zones and then having riffs and licks going between them. So watch last week's video if you're interested in that. Then we have the bass. And here you go, Audrey. Just let that drone for a second. This is the SD1 on top of the bass with the Taurus droning underneath it. Does muscle memory make you less creative in playing, finding new riffs? No, but muscle memory is a crutch, easily becomes a crutch, right? And so I think Andy said it last week as well. You have to sort of let go and break yourself out of the riffs and licks to discover new things, or to force yourself to broaden your horizons. So that's fine. But the point of riffs and licks was that you can sound good relatively quickly by learning a few licks. Those weren't licks. That was me trying to choose something. So it varies, right? It's whether sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, right? You'll end up being like, you'll be like, I'm trying to play. There's a good example of duh. I'm trying to play two notes at once, but the bass patch is monophonic for clusters. So one thing that's nice about Omnisphere, which is what I'm using to make this bass patch, it understands the concept of bass strings, and so on any given string, it's a monophonic instrument, and it's not until you go up a fourth to the next string that it will allow you to play a chord, basically. So if I try and play two notes at once, that are effectively me trying to play the frets right next to each other, it won't let me. But if I go up a string, it will, because if I go up, it's effectively another string. So you get a bass-like behavior using Omnisphere. I'm pretty sure most sample libraries like Contact and stuff also do that, but hammer-ons work. So there, we talked about some hardware, we talked about a little software, and I've got a drum part going in today. All right, what else is coming up? So next week, I will put this down. Get something running here. Let me just start a little pattern here. All right. Real simple. There we go. All right. So next week, the 26th, an hour before this normally starts, 1 o'clock, the denizens here in the chat, we're going to be doing another Jamtaba Jam. So all of us streaming at the same time, but also using Jamtaba to run our stuff together and doing another drone like we did a few weeks back. So that's next weekend at 1 p.m. Eastern. And basically we'll publish, I think Jeff and Anna already have, Anna Motion Music already have, and Jeff Hopkins already have placeholder events on their streams. Andy may have done one or is about to. I'm going to do one later today or tomorrow. So you'll see the little notifications and you can watch whichever one you want, because we're all doing sort of the same thing from different perspectives. It's super fun. But we're going to do that an hour before this stream would normally start. And we'll do that performance. And then I'm going to run the regular stream here as like an after party cool down decompression. So feel free to watch that on any channel you want, and then come here if you're interested to hang out with us and give us feedback on what we did, right? So that'll be next week. And we're experimenting. The last one was thoroughly drone. This one's going to have drones, but also people are trying to play with some sequence things and keep them in sync. It's a bit of an it's a challenge, but it's not that much of a challenge. We've been messing around and it seems to be working pretty well. So it should be fun. So no one should stress about it. It's not like, as much as I would like to be able to charge people $1,000 for a ticket, a la, Taylor Swift, it's really not going to happen. So anyway, so that's next week. This week, that was the sound overview. I'm just going to build up some stuff here and make some noise. I have the global transposition stuff actually active today, so I may pull that in once I've got things running. Let's see. My case, the low drone is the Rickenbacker with a sustain pedal. It is. There's also a Moog Taurus emulation running underneath it, an octave down. So it's like Rick with a Moog on there. And that sound is inspired by Tony Levin. So if you ever listen to, it's really prominent on Peter Gabriel's album So. All the bass on that is Chapman stick or a regular bass, with an octave below and an octave up. So every time you hear any note, it's actually playing a three octaves worth of bass. So I like having that drone under there. And the Taurus sounds so good, right? Synchrotron is 50-50 for showing up next week. Okay, so show up if you're an Andy fan. He may be here, he may not. So we're all Andy fans, right? If Andy can't come, we're canceling. It's on you, Andy. No pressure. Let's see. Jeff's also the super multi-instrumentalist, right? And Anna, I think just Jeff and Anna, I've been listening to their recordings. They've been droning or jamming a lot lately, and it sounds good. So it is the Foot Monster in Trillion. Yep, it's the Moog Taurus. Although I've tweaked it a little bit, but yeah, Foot Monster is a very good Taurus preset from Trillion, which is in Omnisphere. Let's see. All right. So I've got this. Let's build on top of this, shall we? Hey, Boreal. All right. So what do we got? We got a pad running, little chord progression. We've got one pluck going. Let's add another pluck. Let's add a pluck that's an odd time, or an odd length. There we go. So if I highlight this. All right, so we've got two patterns. All right, so we've got this pattern playing. It's one bar. It's 8 beats long, or 4 beats long. And then we've got this one playing. And we'll stick a little organ lead over it. A 16-bar organ lead, and we'll make it fixed length so I don't have to worry about starting and stopping it. We've got a pad playing a progression. We've got two plucks doing a bed. We've got a little melody here with our organ. And let's bring in a sub bass patch. Dr. Cynthia, welcome. Let this run through once. I'll have a drink. When I compose this way, does every instrument have its own reverb, or are they all sent to one reverb at different levels? I do not use sends, Moriel. Everything has its own reverb and delay, which is not efficient at all. But I have because I'm using external hardware, the DAW has a lot of extra CPU floating around, and so I don't have a problem with that. And I like to use reverb as texture. So some of the reverb instruments have like the shimmer reverb on it, and some of the reverbs have other kinds of modulation on them. And so, you know, I have everything with an inline reverb. If I was using all VSTs, I would probably be crushing my CPU if I did all reverbs there. But because most of the sound generation is in hardware, I'm okay. Let's bring in some rhythm. just for a minute. Hey, Biscuit. Synth Samurai, welcome, bud. I'm sorry I haven't been to the Kumite much, but I've been gardening so much I tend to fall asleep and collapse at the end of the day. So, sorry, man. I hope it's going well. Yeah, Andy has a very nice hardware reverb. The Polybrute 12 is my answer to buying a CS80. It's cheaper, right? Still can't afford it, but... All right, so we're going to do a little global transposition here. I've got another control surface over here. I'm going to try and shift everything down a scale degree, and we'll see what happens. It might suck. Could you even tell? There we go. Sometimes when you're doing global transposition, if you've got a pad sustaining for many, many bars, since it's sustaining, the global transposition won't pick it up and shift it. So you get something that's not quite right. Let's go back. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, this is another control surface. So we got the push, and then I've got another grid over here. And this is just a MIDI control surface that's mapped to a transpose device on every track. And when I choose new notes on this device, it shifts the MIDI that's coming in it for everything and sort of moves it around the key. Let me give you a more extreme example. I'm going to bring everything up 3 scale degrees. It might sound bad. See, everything's up. We're still doing the walk down chord progression. That sounds okay. I used to do it with Max for Live devices, Squazor, but now in Ableton 12, all the devices are scale degree aware, and you can just do it with the stock instrumentation. Stock devices will let you do it. And now we're back to our root. Works great. Yeah, no, you don't need sweet yet. You can do it now with just 12 and standard, or even light, or not light, intro. Pretty sure you could do it with the intro. All right, I'm gonna bring the rhythm out because I am so guilty of just letting a loop play forever. Bring this out. There we go. And we'll delete those. So. All right, how are we doing on time? 2:40, plenty of time. Let's see. Someone asked a question the other day in some other chat. I think it was actually in Andy's stream. Someone asked about the MX 400 and said, "Is it how does it compare to the 500?" And I have no idea because I don't know of either of those. So like, is the MX 100 1/5 and 200 is 2/5? You know, up to the 500. And do they make an MX 600 or 800? I don't know. Anyway, all right, let's do something else. Let's change the tempo. Actually, I'm going to bring the tempo up. Let's bring it up to 111, 111. And let's do... All right, so I'm going to do muscle memory. I'm going to do some licks and just lay down a groove here. We'll do 4 bars long. And we'll put a little bass under it. Are those the last boxed modules in the background of your studio? No, those are the last oscillators. So those 5 oscillators I'm trying to sell, but I'm not trying real hard. So behind this computer in the closet is a whole bunch of other boxes that I'm waiting to sell. That sucked. Let's try that again. Oh, yeah. All right. I've talked about bass reharmonization before. Everything here is basically playing on E flat. All the patterns and stuff, they're all rolling around E flat, right? Hi, I sing the Body Electric. How's it going? But if I change the bass note, it still works. It's in key, but it forms new chords with the stuff happening in the background. bass line here is basically reharmonizing the chords of the bed that's running. Right? It's a nice technique. The problem with doing that is when you do global transpositions, it doesn't always work. Like it starts shifting things into a dissonant space. Let's try bringing this up a third and see what happens. Not bad. Quick it back to E flat. Dissonant one. There we go. So, not so bad. Let's see. Coptophonics, thanks, man. Do I use record quantization? Yes. Yes, I do. And it is 16ths, usually. It just depends. When the tempo goes way, way down, I'll change it to eighths sometimes, you know. I don't always use tempo quantization because if I do a really fast run, or if you do a trill, that will turn into mud. When you quantize it, it'll just go bleh, right? Like the little embellishment, that will get quantized into nastiness. So not always. When I'm playing with other people, I generally do because it's more important to be on the clock, on the click, right? Locked into the grid to just provide, because especially if I'm doing bass. If I'm doing bass, I want it to be absolutely on the grid. You know, it's okay if pads are soft and they come in late. That's okay. You can, then I turn quantize off because I actually want to start playing a little early in anticipation of it fading in. So like if you're playing a soft pad like this, right, I may be hitting it on the grid, but it fades in, so everything will sound late. So I'll turn off quantize and then play it early. But you can get bit if you're looping in Ableton, and you start, say, a 4-bar clip recording, and you're playing a soft pad, a slow fade-in pad like this. If you play early in anticipation of fading the pad in at the start of the clip, it will quantize the first note to the beginning of the clip no matter what, and then it'll sound off. So what I usually will do is let a loop record through once and start playing as it's about to restart at the beginning. So any notes that I play early in anticipation get captured like at the end of the loop. So when the loop comes around, it still works, right? The note plays early at the end of the loop, but because it loops around and it's sustained across, it's okay. I hope that made sense. So, do I quantize? Yes, unless the sound has a soft attack, in which case I'll turn off quantize. Right. The other thing is you could turn record quantize off and just play. And if it's good enough, leave it. And if you need it to be fixed, just tap quantize to just do it intentionally. So let's see. Is there a shortcut to turn on/off record quantization on a track-by-track basis? Yeah, on the current on a track-by-track basis. No, but it's really easy to turn. There may be. I don't know of one on a track-by-track basis. What I generally do is you long press quantize and then just one tap here, right? So that's showing up here. Yeah, so you long press and then right here, this button is record quantize, and you can just turn it on and off, right? And you could set your record quantize to be a different grid from the standard manual quantize, right? So if record quantize is off and I'm doing my stuff and I end up flubbing the timing and I want to fix it, I'll just tap quantize and it's good to go. But I generally leave record quantize on at 16ths. So yeah, quantize button. So, all right, where were we? 252, winding down. I'm trying to think what else is there that I wanted to talk about. Someone was asking, is there a way in session view to have multiple songs in a set? And yeah, you can. You just build the clips down and you can change meter and tempo and things like that, and key even, as you're moving down through the scenes. And I'm going to make a video that illustrates that. I just haven't done it yet. So it's coming. Let's bring the tempo back down. Flubbing the timing. Flubbing. It's a good word. Let's see. Let's play something here. I am on garden duty. So there I flubbed the timing up real good. So, and what I'll do then is I'll literally, so this is why I like the DAW. I could do this on the push, but it's so easy for me to just reach over and fix the timing. So I'm sorry. Call me a bad hardware synth guy, but it's just so much easier. Let's put too much reverb on this organ. Some like old doors. And let's copy this pattern. Let's copy it twice. Audrey, but there's just a little too much sub here. Audrey is the keeper of all things low. Screwed up the length of that. I accidentally deleted an entire track. That's what undo is for. I forgot I added all that reverb for effect. Let's take some of that out. just sort of wallowing around in melody, not doing anything. I'm not repeating anything to try and legitimize it. I'm literally just sort of musically masturbating. Yeah, it's an OnlyFans stream. It's terrible. I'm over my hour too, so we should wrap it up. The second hour is the hour where I take my clothes off. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, let's see. All right, let's bring it all down. Prog After Dark. Yes, I gotta eat the mic, be like, welcome to Synth Seeker After Dark. There we go. This organ, someone said Chris Squire earlier, I'm totally a prog head as well. And this organ is definitely influenced by Close to the Edge and or anyway, so need some hot 5/4 licks. That redefines licks, right? No, please, no. All right. I like my prog. I do. Let's see. We're doing another, just a reminder, we're doing another Jam Taba group groove on the 26th. It's going to be 1 hour before this time slot here. So that hour. And then in this normal time slot next Sunday is the decompression like party. So come along if you want. And you don't have to watch the show, the jam from here. Synchrotron is 50-50 on whether he's going to contribute. We all would love him to, but Animotion Music and Jeff Hopkins, myself, maybe Garen M., maybe a few others, perhaps Raider Rich. I don't know. I don't remember whether there was a thumbs up or thumbs down from him, but he's in the chat. So pressure Raider Rich to take part next Sunday. Hey, Joe Johnston. Let's see. I just noticed that you're the one who brought the hot 5/4 licks in. Thank you, Joe. Helical Coil, thanks. Have fun. Be good. So play nice. And really, that's about it. So I am going to log off and then go hang out in our Discord server because I think we're going to try and like practice for next week, or at least make a little noise. We'll see what happens. But thank you, everyone. I appreciate you hanging out and coming and putting up with all this stuff. Joe, you missed it earlier. I mentioned that the ESQ1 is behaving strangely and it may be on its last legs. So we'll see. It's actually having tuning issues for a digital synth. If it's got tuning issues, something's very strange going on. But anyway, so thank you, everyone. Let me find which window has the close out the stream stuff. And everyone, have fun. I will see you around. Be good. See ya.